The morning the stranger's motorcycle broke down outside his small rented house, Arman Qureshi was already on the verge of losing more than just his patience. The sun had barely climbed over the rooftops of the quiet neighborhood, spilling soft golden light across the narrow street, when the roar of an engine coughing its last breath shattered the fragile calm. Arman stood frozen at his doorway, a lunchbox in one hand and his 5-year-old son's tiny backpack in the other, watching as a sleek black bike rolled to an abrupt stop in front of his gate. The rider, dressed head to toe in worn leather and a matte helmet, sat still for a long second as if deciding whether to scream or surrender. Arman had no idea that this single moment would unravel the carefully stitched fabric of his lonely life and lead him toward a love he had long buried under responsibility and grief. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet miracles that happen in ordinary daylight, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Touch of Kindness. Your support keeps stories like this alive and spreading hope. Arman had been a single father for 3 years, ever since his wife passed away after a sudden illness that stole her from their small family without warning. Since then, his world had shrunk to 2 things, his son Zayan and survival. He worked as a mechanic at a modest auto workshop across town, fixing engines he could understand, unlike the broken silence in his own home that he never quite learned to repair. Every morning was a race against time, packing lunch, ironing tiny shirts, tying shoelaces, forcing a smile big enough to hide the exhaustion etched into his face. He had learned to live without dreams. Dreams were luxuries for people who slept peacefully at night. The biker removed her helmet slowly. A cascade of dark auburn hair tumbled down her shoulders, catching the sunlight in copper streaks. Her face was striking, not just for its beauty but for the calm intelligence in her eyes. She looked out of place in their modest lane lined with cracked walls and bougainvillea vines. She tried the ignition again. The engine coughed weakly, then died. She let out a frustrated sigh that carried more weight than a simple mechanical problem. Arman hesitated. He was already late. His supervisor had warned him twice this month about tardiness. One more mistake and he might lose the job that kept food on their table. But Zayan, clutching his small toy car, looked up at his father with curious eyes and whispered that the lady looked sad. That was all it took. Arman set down the lunchbox and walked toward the gate. He asked if she needed help. She nodded, admitting the bike had started making a strange noise miles back. Her voice was calm, almost refined, yet there was an undercurrent of weariness beneath it. Arman rolled up his sleeves and knelt beside the motorcycle, examining the engine with practiced hands. He could tell immediately that this was not an ordinary machine, it was high-end, powerful, and expensive, far beyond anything usually seen in their area. Yet here it was, vulnerable and silent. As he worked, sweat beading on his forehead under the growing heat of the day, he felt her gaze on him. Not judgmental, not impatient, just observant. He diagnosed a loose fuel line and a clogged filter. Simple fixes. He fetched his basic toolkit from inside, apologizing for the lack of professional equipment. She assured him it was fine. Zayan watched in fascination, asking quiet questions about engines and wheels, his small face glowing with admiration for his father. Within 20 minutes, the motorcycle roared back to life, smoother than before. The sound echoed triumphantly down the street. The woman's eyes widened slightly, impressed. She reached into her jacket and pulled out a sleek wallet, offering him a thick stack of cash. Arman stepped back immediately, shaking his head. He told her it was nothing, just a neighborly act. She insisted, saying skilled work deserved fair payment. He refused again, explaining that he simply couldn't take that much for such a small repair. Finally, she slipped a modest note into Zayan's hand instead, calling it a thank you for the little assistant. Arman almost protested, but the smile on his son's face stopped him. She introduced herself as Meher Ansari before putting her helmet back on. The name lingered in the air long after she rode away, the sunlight glinting off chrome and leather. Arman dismissed the encounter as a brief interruption in an already complicated life. He had no room for mysteries. Yet Meher returned the next day. This time, she came without mechanical trouble. She parked smoothly outside and removed her helmet with deliberate ease. Arman was washing his old car in the driveway while Zayan drew chalk shapes on the pavement. Meher approached with a polite smile, saying she wanted to thank him properly. She brought pastries from an upscale bakery across town. Arman felt embarrassed by his oil-stained shirt and modest surroundings, but she seemed unaffected by any of it. She crouched down to Zayan's level, asking about his drawings, listening as if each crooked line mattered. Days turned into a pattern. Meher would appear in the late mornings, sometimes with small gifts for Zayan, sometimes just with questions about engines or life in the neighborhood. Arman learned that she claimed to be traveling, exploring different cities on her motorcycle. She spoke about freedom, about wanting to see how ordinary people lived. There was something almost poetic in the way she described simplicity, as if she were studying it rather than belonging to it. Arman felt cautious. He had built walls after his wife's death, thick and unyielding. Letting someone new into his son's life was not a decision he took lightly. But Meher was patient. She never overstepped. She would sit on the low boundary wall, sipping tea he awkwardly offered, listening to stories about the workshop and about Zayan's endless curiosity. Sometimes her eyes softened in a way that suggested she was memorizing these moments. What Arman did not know was that Meher Ansari was not simply a traveler. She was the only heir to a multi-billion-dollar tech empire built by her late father. Her real life consisted of skyscrapers, boardrooms, and relentless expectations. After years of watching relationships crumble under the weight of her wealth, she had grown tired of being loved for her fortune instead of her heart. So she began traveling incognito, dressed as a biker, seeking authenticity in places untouched by luxury. She was searching not for excitement, but for someone who would see her without the glitter of billions clouding their judgment. And in Arman's small courtyard, she had found something rare. One afternoon, while Zayan napped inside, Meher noticed the stack of unpaid bills on the kitchen counter. She had stepped inside for the first time, invited in by Arman's reluctant hospitality during a sudden burst of heat. She didn't comment on the overdue notices, but her gaze lingered. Arman caught the look and felt a familiar wave of shame. He explained that the workshop had reduced hours recently. Money was tight, but he would manage. He always did. Meher saw more than financial struggle. She saw a man who carried grief quietly, who skipped new clothes so his son could have storybooks, who repaired neighbors' appliances for free because he believed kindness should not come with invoices. She saw strength wrapped in humility. And for the first time in years, her carefully guarded heart trembled. Their bond deepened in small, ordinary ways. They visited a nearby park where Zayan insisted Meher learn how to fly a kite. Arman laughed, a sound that had been absent from his life for too long, as the kite nosedived into bushes. Sunlight filtered through trees, casting dancing shadows on the grass. For a few hours, the weight of adulthood seemed lighter. But secrets have a way of surfacing. One bright afternoon, a convoy of luxury SUVs rolled into the narrow lane, startling neighbors into their doorways. Men in tailored suits stepped out, scanning the surroundings with urgent expressions. Arman watched in confusion as they approached Meher, who had just removed her helmet. The air shifted. Respect, even fear, laced their voices as they addressed her formally. They informed her that the board demanded her immediate return. News of her disappearance had reached investors. The company's stock was fluctuating. The truth landed on Arman like a physical blow. Billionaire. Heiress. Empire. Words that felt alien in his modest world. He looked at Meher, searching for the traveler he thought he knew.